Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. Have you or someone you know ever been evicted? That's right, evicted. Being evicted from your place where you dwell and your safety nest can be devastating and disastrous. So, what is eviction and how does the process work? Glad you asked. An eviction is basically a lawsuit because it's a legal court-ordered removal of a tenant from the property where they reside. A landlord may decide to evict a tenant for non-payment of rent, for damages to the property, illegal activity, or violating the terms of the lease. That's why it's important to read your lease. You can't just sign and date. No, you read that lease before you sign it. That's important, y'all. The eviction process normally begins with a notice from your landlord that asks the tenant to remedy certain conditions. Fix it. Whatever the problem is, fix it before receiving an eviction notice. The landlord can begin the eviction proceedings through a court if the tenant does not provide a remedy, if the tenant doesn't fix whatever the issue is, right? Now, the judges hear the testimony, they review the evidence, and they decide whether to evict or deny a landlord's request when a matter gets to court. The judge does that. Please know that landlords can't evict tenants without good cause. They've got to have good cause. They have to have reasons that include like non-payment of your rent, or again, damages to the property, illegal activity, or violating the terms of a lease. They have to have good cause. Now, the cases are generally heard in district courts, small claims courts, or housing courts. When you have your court date, both the landlord and the tenant are required to attend and may seek legal representation. Sometimes the tenant, for whatever reason, can't go, then a lawyer goes for them. Courts require evidence of wrongdoing, including photos, emails, text messages, other documents, and witness testimony that may support each party's case. That's why it's imperative that you document everything. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of an eviction for landlords? Evictions allow landlords to remove unruly tenants, as I mentioned earlier, as well as removing people who are not paying their rent on time or not paying their rent at all. Eviction proceedings can be costly, but landlords can benefit by going through the process to protect the interest of their property. A landlord can open their property to better, more responsible tenants by evicting an undesirable tenant. So if someone's not paying their rent, they want someone in the apartment that will pay their rent. If someone's causing problems, they want to remove those people and put people in that hopefully won't cause problems. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of an eviction for tenants? The effects of an eviction can be long-lasting for tenants. A rental application will likely ask if they have ever been evicted before, if they've applied for a new home, but having a previous eviction may not completely disqualify a person from acquiring a new lease. So it's not necessarily the case that you're no longer going to be able to get a lease because you've been evicted. Some landlords, they just may want to simply know more about the terms of the eviction. It would be unlikely to negatively affect a landlord's view of a potential tenant if a previous landlord decided to sell an apartment as a condominium and legally evicted the tenants in order to do so. Tenants, I want you to know that you have rights. You do. You may not know your rights, but you do have rights. And you have a better chance of a positive outcome if you go to court. if you go to court, you may be able to access rental assistance. You may be able to negotiate for an extension, maybe reduce the fees that they've added on to what you owe. Maybe a payment plan and or the ability to appeal a decision. But if you don't show up in court, if you don't show up in eviction court, then you are forfeiting any available assistance and resources that you could possibly get, and you will automatically lose. So if you have an eviction court date, go to court. Go to court. Now, there's still more information I'd like to share with you about this topic. I have a lot of information, especially for Harris County, and some resources as well. So subscribe or follow, leave a comment, like and share this video for all that good content that I'd like to share with y'all. Signing off, Maria Elena.